Hello everybody, welcome back. We are here in Nullsec with T10 Day 1. We will be testing out the capital autocannons here. Let me hide this real quick. So, the capital autocannons here are gonna have way worse tracking. They're gonna have a lot better fall-off range and things, so we'll try out being at brawling range. I don't know if that'll work out for us. But if we're only targeting the battleships and battlecruisers, we should be able to track them with the web of fire and uh, the grappler. But everything else is going to be a bit harder to actually deal with. Hey, Jenner, how you doing today? So that's what we're really testing today. I'm going to see if we like it. If not, maybe we'll just stay with the barreled weapons. We're gonna have a little bit higher DPS, probably somewhere in the 5,000 range. But, we'll see once we undock. Yeah, no, you did not miss the live notification, not quite yet. Alright, where are we at for everything here? I think we should be good on fuel. Yeah, 5 million, plenty of fuel. Alright, I think we're pretty well ready. Let me quickly make sure that I am in fleet with, everybody. I am. Alright. Good to know. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've still got to get a couple of my modules from Losec up here. And all it is C-type, autocannons. But I'm not too bothered by it right now. Okay, let's see what we're starting with here. Actually, I want to start with a large. Always make sure to keep your information safe and keep your local up when in nullsec.
Warp drive
This
active.
first warp always takes a little while just to get up to speed and align. I have the opportunity to get, the 3 other dreadnoughts, or at least 2 other dreadnoughts. We could also get our hands on maybe a Valraven, or or a Navy version of the Nagalfar.
We're under attack.
You can see tracking on that is pretty good. I really should try to stagger these weapons.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Rishi, I appreciate it. I enjoy that you like the Nagalfar. It's awesome. How you doing today, Rishi? Doing alright? I don't know if I trust my tank enough. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on our implant so we can have a little bit better tracking speed. We would normally be looking at 0.62, now we're at 0.78 with a 48 kilometer fall off. That's pretty good.
We're under attack.
Oof. Oh, cool. Why'd you leave your old corporation? You just looking for more for yourself, or was there an issue? Not too many people active, I get it.
Enemy ships
Yeah, so
detected.
far I'm pretty happy with the performance of the autocannons.
We're under attack.
I figured they would do fine. But it was just something that I was thinking about. AOA is a good place for a lot of active players. They have a lot of different alliances and stuff. A lot of different corporations in that alliance. Okay. Well, I do hope you reach out to them and at least give them a chance. Yeah, we do clear these things out pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure with this fit I could run Dormant Realms,
Enemy ships
but
detected.
I would need to replace the Capital Micro Warp Drive
We're under attack.
with a... Yeah, I would need to replace the Capital Micro Warp
We're
Drive with
being
another
warp
Cap
scrambled.
battery. And then we could probably do... So far since I've been out here, Rishi, I have made 700 million for the 4 hours that I've been out here farming. I would consider that pretty good for a low skill dreadnought. Yeah, I've only been farming for about 4 hours. Yeah, you could make a billion an hour with like really good skills and going into the harder content. I'm just running anomalies out here. I've mostly only had access to small and mediums. As you can see, lots of smalls, lots of mediums. Alright, thank you for joining in, Rishi. Have a good sleep.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Yep. Nice Nagalfar. I do really like that on the Nagalfar, and you can't really see it out in space, but there are elevators back here that move up and down. It's a nice looking thing. You can see it in the hangar a lot easier. Yeah, I'm sure the Nagalfar does quite well with the high alpha. Alright, that was pretty easy. Alright, so I'm gonna dock up real quick because
Autopilot engaged.
I need to go to the bathroom.
Warp drive
Yeah,
active.
200 kilometers is a long way away. A good dreadnought can snipe. I think I've seen upwards of almost 1,000 kilometers. It was like 600 fall off and like 350 optimal. That was a crazy fit.
Destination reached.
Alright, I will be back in a couple of minutes. Alright, I'm back. Let's just make sure we're fully fueled. Alright. Back to it.
Undocking.
I guess we'll do a bunch of, mediums now. Yeah, I mean, as long as we think that this ship could handle it, which maybe it should. I'm only looking at 2.5 million HP, which is pretty low for a dreadnought in my opinion. There is the capital test range here, but I don't know.
Warp drive active.
I should really consider having a lot better skills for my tank before I move into anything.
We're under attack.
Ugh.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I am liking the autocannons. They seem to be tracking well enough, and they do more than enough damage.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Even at 0, the autocannons are doing more than enough. The only thing is, I have to, like, micromanage what ship I am going to target next. And that's not a huge problem. It just takes attention away from other things that I have to pay attention to.
Enemy ships detected.
It feels like I am clearing these waves a little bit quicker than what I would do with the barreled weapons. So that's good. And I think once I get the large cannon Operation 5, I'll be quite a bit better off, because I'll have extra damage and extra activation time. I would like to see what the strike cannons would do to these. Being able to sit at range and just blap things one shot at a time sounds like a lot of fun. And could make kind of a fun video. Okay. I just kind of remember how the strike cannons worked in the...
Enemy ships detected. We're under
in the
attack.
capital event thing that was happening when capitals were released. And they could actually hit everything for like full damage at that time. I know at 0 they would not work, but at 100 kilometers it would be worthwhile.
Warp drive active.
I do think Seawiz needs a little bit of help. Instead of losing all of its stacks upon killing something, maybe losing half of those stacks would be better. But I know that could make it a little more powerful than expected. But it ramps up pretty fine, so I guess it's fine. I don't know. I just feel like it's a little too punishing to lose everything when you kill something.
We're under attack.
Yeah. Yeah, with the strikes you have to rely on the Seaways.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
But the Seaways should kill anything within its range. Before anything can actually get to you.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah. Yeah, with a bodyguard dread, you're a lot better off. There's a lot of damage for the bodyguards. That are given to the Seaways.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
It would be nice to be able to show off, like I said, I want to be able to show off all of the dreadnoughts on this character, and maybe after we're done with that, we can start showing off all the carriers.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I'm I'm really very interested in something like the Nidhogger and the Revelation, just because those are ships that I know the community really likes. Um, and so it'd be nice to experience those outside of my information from videos I've watched or my experience with the Shanghai, the Cyan, and the Lucent Moon. It would be nice to know
Enemy ships
all of
detected.
the other ships in regards to what I
We're
normally
under
fly.
attack. We're under attack.
Alright. Yeah, I think the autocannons are doing quite well.
Warp drive active.
Oh god. Okay. We have a dead Emsos guy. And I'm in the middle walking around. I don't know when he flies. Oh god, what, that was really bad timing.
Autopilot engaged.
Okay, let's get us
We're
out of here.
under attack.
Warp drive active.
I am okay, I am walking away. They always seem to show up right as I land, or right as I walk out. It's really quite annoying.
Destination reached.
I think I want to look into the regular Phoenix and the Revelation. If I can get my hands on all three, that would be a lot better. Um, but it would be between the Phoenix or the Revelation. The Phoenix is pretty much relegated to always having to use the barreled weapons in nullsec up until they start fighting capitals. And then after capitals start showing up, then they could use the capital torpedoes. Capital missiles are that middle ground, but they're not good enough for either activity in most cases. Hello, Donut. How you doing today? Good to see you. We're just waiting on a red to pass through real quick. Make sure he moves on and doesn't linger around here. Ah, yeah, I get that. Did you lose your, Did you have a seal mod or anything like that? Were you able to get that back? Oh, man. What did they drop on you? Was it just a bunch of subcapital ships, or did they drop much bigger ships on you? Ah, man. I've had that happen. Literally, my, like, second day out with the Rorqual when I was under Adam, um, I had a fleet drop on me. Luckily, they didn't drop enough on me to kill me, but it was a struggle for my capacitor to keep up. They had a Balgorn that was fitted with all neutralizers. Disgusting. Ah, yeah. Versatile assault carriers will definitely do that to a Rorqual. There's not much you can do at that point other than activate your emergency DCU, but then you only have like a few minutes. Yeah, Ivor is one of the biggest killers of capital level ships. You know, I don't even know that your lodging drones would save you, but it would be worth the try. With Vax on you, it's really hard to stay alive as a Rorqual. They'll help you, but I don't think they'll save you that often when you're dealing with what you dealt with. Huh. Alright, I think we'll be okay
Undocking.
to move on here. I don't think he's coming back. Okay. Yeah, we got a lot of mediums to work our way through. You must have been, like, fully integrated then, if I'm not mistaken.
Warp drive active.
Because that is not my experience with my Rorqual. Yeah. Fully integrated, of course you're gonna have a lot better time against that kind of stuff. So I can see why the drones help you there. It's all good. As long as you feel like you can learn from the experience and you can keep going, um, that's a good thing.
We're under attack.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of supers out there that are like corp assets, and they're just not gonna hit nearly as hard as
Enemy
like
ships
a privately
detected.
owned one.
We're under attack.
Yeah, that's true.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, I think the only thing that a dread would threaten on you is when there's a bunch of them completely DPS fit. And then maybe they'll make it through your shield in one go. But it has to be like full DPS fit on a dread to deal with what you've got.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, I hope one day I can get a fit with that much, resistance going. That'd be very nice.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, not everybody enjoys ratting, but hopefully you've got enough minerals and stuff saved up that you
We're
can sell it
doing warp
to your
scramble.
corporation or whatever, or your alliance, and make that back. It's interesting to say that. No, I wouldn't say borrow ISK from Corp, but selling your assets to make ISK to get that back up and running is what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm sure you've got a few things laying around that you don't need anymore.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Yeah, I get that. When you're in a position where you can do that pretty comfortably, you're in a really good spot. But a lot of people, like this particular character, don't really have that sort of protection or capability. There's an Angel Inquisitor here. I wouldn't say that. I'd say just at least try
Warp
to...
drive active.
I mean, there might be someone out there looking for something like that. You never know. So I'm assuming that you fly mostly carriers and the Rorqual, since they kind of carry over to each other a little bit.
We're under attack.
Okay. Yeah, on my main character, I want to be able to fly everything at one time. Like, I want to have access to fly anything I want. Without having to, like, skill in and out of things. Ooh, Nyx is a good ship. I personally have an
Enemy
Aeon,
ships
of
detected.
course. But I am really thinking about
We're under attack.
getting myself a Wyvern at some point in the near future. I think a fully integrated Wyvern would be a lot more fun for me. One day I'll show off flying the Nyx, maybe, if I can even get my hands on one. Right now, pretty much all of my value is,
Enemy ships detected.
all
We're under attack.
of my value is really wrapped up in that Aeon and a few other assets that I have. I don't think I'll ever regret a Wyvern. Especially when I've seen Wyverns with almost a billion. No. Yeah, almost a billion EHP. I've seen them survive things that no one else has.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Really, all of the supers are a good ship, but the Aeon is probably the worst of all of them. Of course, it'll go, like, both of the DPS supers, that would be the Hell and the Nyx, and then you'd have the Wyvern, and then you'd have, like, the Aeon. Yeah, definitely depends on the fit and use, but overall, for base stats and everything, without any additional bonuses, the Aeon is just not the right ship
Enemy ships detected.
for trying to survive extremely long periods of time.
We're under attack.
Yeah, I would never be in a fleet fight with it. I don't think so, at least. So I can't count that into my calculations. It's not worth my time even thinking about that when there's 15 Logi on grid. And of course anything is going to survive with that amount of Logi. I'm just talking basic, on their own, no extra help. Managed to escape getting into that one, huh? Oh no. Of course they got disconnected.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, my current Aeon sits at like 350,000 IP, without the discount. No, that's with the discount, I think. I'll have to go back and revisit it at some point. I'm just saying that if you don't trust your own corporation to know about your assets, which they cannot access
Warp
unless you
drive
give them
active.
your account, um, then you're probably in the wrong place for you. Maybe that sounds a little naive to you, but you should be able to trust at least your corporation, not your alliance. Your alliance is a whole different problem. I think you put too much value on yourself. I really don't think there's that many people going, ooh, a super, let me ask them to run whatever the heck it is, and give me all the loot or something. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Oh. There's a reason why you have fleet doctrine for most places, so they don't ask you to bring your own ship. And you don't have to bring your super if you don't want to. That should be respected.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under
There's definitely
attack.
people in this game that have a certain hate for people who even want to be in high sec and not have to care. Like, I've experienced all of that. And you know what I did? I left. If the corporation or alliance is going to treat a player like that, there's no reason to be there.
Enemy ships detected.
There are a bunch of other places that you can be in where that's not the case.
We're under attack.
Exactly. So it really just comes right back around to the beginning of the conversation. If you don't trust your corporation or alliance to know about your assets, then why are you there? Yeah, I agree. I agree that that can be very tiresome to deal with, and it's better that you just enjoy the game. Yeah, you can trust the leaders, usually. And that's what I mean. So long as you can trust the corporation, which is the leaders, and maybe your friends. Not everyone has to know about it. But if you don't even trust them anymore, it all just one big circle. That's why we play Eve.
Enemy ships
Yeah,
detected.
that's not the place I would want to be in if that's the description that you're
We're
giving.
under attack.
That is a really bad place to be in. I think they should be very grateful to you as long as you're providing something to that corporation, whether it be some mineral, some PI, and helping out with that. If you're just sitting there kind of being a bump on a log and abusing the capabilities that they've provided by allowing you there, that's a whole nother thing. Which I don't think you are, given that you're helping with DRs, you're helping with anomalies. So I don't think you're gonna be sitting there doing nothing. You've already proven otherwise. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, have you tried talking to your leadership about it? Because there might be something that they can do about that. Especially since it's pushed you to the point where you don't want to be there anymore.
We're under attack.
Because that is a very valid reason to leave. Okay. So as long as they're doing something about it. But still, if that's just a common problem throughout your entire corporate alliance, it's better that you find a more comfortable place for you to be in.
Warp drive active.
I agree. I was part of TSC previously. I left not long after the whole V-Town incident and the information that came out and the reactions that that corporation had, just to everybody. It did not sit right with me. I'm not disagreeing with their actions towards V-Town, necessarily, but the conversations that went on around it were not good. And that was kind of like the last straw I had. Yeah, I wouldn't say my time there was poor, but it was only a poor experience when I wanted to do something and was told that I wasn't allowed to, or I'd have to go so far out of my way to do it, that it wasn't worth my time.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Otherwise, my experience was fine. Many of them were relatively easy to talk to and hang out with. A lot of them, the ones that were actually pilots, not alts, a lot of them were willing to help and teach about things, but yeah. They only do that
Enemy ships
once
detected.
a month, at the end of the month, the last
We're
weekend
under
of the month,
attack.
to help pay for their assets. So I understood that. And I helped a couple of times. By doing that. And I was fine with it. That wasn't a bad thing for me. Wow. They must have changed that after I left. Because previous to that, it was only one day at the end of the month. And there was plenty of warning. Yeah, they are making quite a bit on the mining. Their buyback program is absolutely atrocious. The prices they placed on things were way too low. Sometimes up to
Enemy
40 or
ships
50%
detected.
lower than market.
We're under attack.
Trust me, I was there for over a year. I know. See, they're not just covering that cost. They're also trying to cover the cost of all of the supers that are in their corporation.
Enemy ships detected.
They're trying to pay off all of those cameras,
We're under attack.
which shouldn't be much to pay those off now, but their SRP program is actually pretty good. Because it includes supers, it's pretty good. Sir, I was in there for a year. I know. I know what I'm talking about. Obviously, your experience was different from mine. Yeah. And that's exactly why I left. I knew things would get worse after that. And they did. And clearly your experience was a lot worse. But my time was very different. So, I'm not gonna hate on him, and I'm not gonna dwell on it. I think they did what they needed to in order to protect themselves. And that's all I'll say.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Oh, let's go do a couple of larges in a row. I kinda wanna wait for this bounty tick to come through first. I don't know.
Warp drive active.
We're under attack. Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
It's going pretty good. The Aeon is working quite well. Trust me, Jenner, I'm glad you have not experienced what that became. Um,
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
I think it's time we move on from that conversation. Yep. So far it's going really well. The Aeon's performing pretty much how I want it to. I'm able to carry three people with me in DR4. It was the perfect way to do that. The alphas are going really well. We're able to do 1-7 in about, what was it, 13 minutes average? That's awesome. And then I haven't tried it on this character yet, so once I get this thing set up a little bit,
Under attack.
we'll try doing DR4 again. Yeah, Dormant Realm 4 is the one with the Sleeper Centrum, which is a giant squid-looking mechanical thing. Dormant Realm 1 is the one where you move pylon to pylon with battleships. Yeah, the 13 minutes is on the alphas. I complete DR4 in about 5 minutes right now. We're still not fully done with any of our stuff. But yeah, we're about 5 minutes for Dormant Realm 4. There's a lot of work to be done there. But it's reliable, and that's what I care about. No, I do not have an editor yet. Not for the Aeon. No, I do not. I have Bombard level 37 or something like that.
Enemy ships detected.
So, like I said, there's a lot of
We're
work to
under
go into it.
attack.
And there's a lot of moving pieces. Yeah, 37 is good, but 40 would be a lot better. Or 45 would be a lot better. just for that extra capability. So until we get that, I'm running aerospace level 30. And that's giving me 5-minute clears. 5.5-minute clears. I disagree, Legendary. I think you can run either one, so long as it's consistent for you. It is harder to run Bombard than it is to run Aerospace. But really, either one works just fine. Only for a short amount of time. Which is a good amount of time for it. But you get a lot more health for your fighters, and the ability to pull them back at 15 kilometers away. Which is super helpful. On Aerospace. I think for a low-end capital pilot, especially for supercarriers, Aerospace is a better choice. But once you start getting, like, fully integrated, level 45 Bombard, then you can start swapping over to that.
Detected.
I don't think it's just a choose one and that's the best one. It really all depends on what your skill levels are, what your implant levels are, hell, even what fighters you're using. I don't have any defense disruptions right now. That is part of the problem. Yeah. And I don't own a supercarrier cover module either. So I pretty much always have to pull back my fighters. The last I saw it was like 53, but maybe it's 47 right now? Right now I'm just kind of sitting on a tactical assault hangar worth about 60 billion right now. I'm debating whether I trade it for 3 dreadnought holes, or if I will trade it for like a supercarrier cover module. Yeah, that's really nice price for the 4P80s. Got another inquisitor in here. do the next launch.
Warp drive active.
Hey, we've made something like... No, I sold that Roarfall a long time ago.
We're under attack.
Oh no. Hopefully you can figure out who has your bodyguard. Or what happened to it.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Yeah, it's very likely out of Omega. If you've forgotten about it, oh yeah.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Oh yeah. Like, I can multi-box, and I really do enjoy it. But for characters like this, I really quite enjoy just being solo. You know, that's kind of unfortunate that it hides everything. That was probably our best bounty tick we've gotten so far on this character. Yeah.
Enemy ships detected.
41 million plus another 8.2 million.
We're under attack.
Very nice for this character. I have the 2 batteries because I have 2 shield boosters. So if I ever have to use it, anyways, is on the second page. It's right here. Everything that I don't have to manage is over here. And everything that I constantly have to use is on the first page. Yeah, I'm missing the longbow module. But it cuts my healing in half, so I don't really want to use it. It also locks me down for 2 minutes. And that's also kind of a bad idea out here right now. Yeah, don't use longbow module unless you know for sure you're okay.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack.
Oh no. Yeah, every time it cycled, you were stuck for another 2 minutes. It's not a bad thing, but like I said, you should really only use it if you know you're okay. Like, I would cycle it once when I had the Phoenix bodyguards at the beginning of my Dormant Realm runs, but after those first 2 minutes, I could not use it again due to the incoming DPS. Yeah, half of your healing going away as well is really bad.
Enemy ships detected. We're under attack. We're under attack.
Alright. Do I really want to do this Advanced Inquisitor? I'll be stuck there for a while. And there's a lot of fast things there. That's a hard choice. I don't think anything will happen. Yeah, at least autocannons can hit the ships that run away from me.
Autopilot engaged.
I'm gonna dock up, I'll swap over to the barreled weapons, and we'll just turn on and off the artillery cover implant
Warp
as
drive
needed.
active.
Because the tracking will be more than fine, and if I turn off the implant, I'll have, I think it was 51 kilometer fall off, or 48 kilometer fall off with the barreled, which means I can hit out to like 90 for pretty low damage. And with the barreled, I can kill some of the faster ships in the waves as well.
Destination reached. Undocking.
see if we can deal with those battleships a little bit easier this time.
Warp drive active.
Alright, so this will probably be the last thing I do today, which is this Advanced Angel Inquisitor.
Warp drive active.
So we saw that my ship could handle it. It was just kind of taking way too long because of our range. And that was my fault because I kept the implant active, which was reducing my range.
We're being warp scrambled.
Go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. My Sea Whiz will take care of most other things in the area. I just kind of have to deal with, the elites. So without the implant active, I have a 49.9 kilometer range on my fall off, which is more than enough to hit some of these further battleships at decent damage.
Enemy ships detected. We're being warp scrambled. We're being warp scrambled.
So the other reason I have these capacitor batteries, they provide a 25% capacitor warfare resistance. And that's gonna help me a lot with all of these kind of enemies. It also kind of offsets the loss of capacitor from the micro warp drive being activated, or being on my ship at least. Yeah, first couple of waves are not hard for this ship. Wave 3 was a little bit harder, but that was only because I wasn't dealing with the material that spawns very well previously. So maybe this time I'll be able to hit the materials a little bit better. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a minute while we wait on the Seawards to ramp up on this Angel Sergeant along with our Webifier, our Grappler. The more this thing ramps up, the better off we will be.
Enemy ships detected. We're under
Material
attack.
Captain, where are you? I am currently on wave 3. This is the first wave to have a material in it. Actually doing pretty good so far. He's staying around 20 kilometers away from me, so that is plenty of distance for my autocannons, my barreled autocannons to hit him. We're doing about 6,000 to 8,000 damage a hit, which isn't a whole lot, but there's a lot of resistance on these guys. Honestly, not as much resistance as I thought, but maybe we're not seeing certain things from whatever modules it's running. We are now into its armor. Healing up a little bit here. Two cycles was enough to get us healed, which is good. Technically, I could have done that in one cycle by using 2 boosters, but I wasn't sure the kind of healing that I needed. Okay, the material is down.
We're being warp scrambled.
That's just an NPC Bellicose giving us some trouble. We'll get him out of here pretty soon. There we go. He's finally being slowed down to the point where I can hit him pretty reliably. That thing has double shield extenders on it. That's funny. Coming down to the last 5 enemies of Wave 3. And so far we haven't really had any runners, but maybe on the next wave we might see one. Because this battleship is pretty far away, I'm going to turn off the implant. We're going to lose a little bit of tracking, but we're going to gain that extra range. We have 2 enemies left for this wave. Okay, this is the last battleship for this wave. Next wave, I will only lock the elite NPCs first, and maybe whatever might be scrambling me when I get there.
Enemy
Wave
ships
4 now.
detected. We're under attack. We're being warp scrambled. We're being warp scrambled.
Okay, this material is definitely a runner.
We're being warp scrambled.
He's now out at 41 kilometers.
We're being warp scrambled. We're being warp scrambled.
He's now at 56 kilometers. 59. 61. And it seems like he's gonna start slowing down here. He's now at 65. And that seems to be where he wants to sit. Yep, that's where he wants to sit.
We're being warp scrambled.
We're not doing a whole lot of damage to
We're
him at
being
that
warp
kind of
scrambled.
range. But 5,000 per hit is not the worst. He's come back now to 59 kilometers. 58 kilometers, now we're doing about 7,000 a hit. just to remember that I have a 10 kilometer optimal range and 47 accuracy falloff. That gives me pretty much 57, almost 58 kilometer range at 50% effectiveness. Cannons have a feature to them where they don't lose nearly as much damage in their fall off. And it makes them highly effective at long ranges. Okay, all of the close enemies are dead now. Now I'm just focusing on this captain so I can move over to other ships. He is still orbiting about 58 kilometers. So we are completely fine. Our Sea Whiz is doing pretty good at tearing apart the battleships that are real close to us. It's quite impressive. It has currently ramped up to 1840 DPS, with 137 tracking. Now it is up to 2,190 as it starts really tearing apart these battleships. Now we're at 2,240. Yep, and it seems to be that we tapped out at 2,240 on our Sea Whiz. It would be super awesome if we could get our hands on the Starbreak Nanophore for the Nagalfar, because we can already heal like a third of our health when we boost with both of our shield boosters at the same time. So having Starbreak would allow us to get another third of our health back, without having to use capacitor. And that would also make it so every so often, I think it's every 300 seconds, every 5 minutes we can get back 66% of our health in one go without using any of our capacitor. That would be a huge ability for us to have. we're now just down to the Angel Sergeant, Angel Cyclone, and Angel Maelstrom. There is one guy that is a neutral nearby, about 4 jumps out, but I think we should be fine. It is unlikely for that guy to come all the way here. Okay, we just got a 39 million bounty tick, I believe it was. 36 million bounty tick. So this is a little bit slower than just doing 2 larges in a row. But it does help me with leveling up my faction warfare stuff. Not the faction part of it, but the Caldari side of things. The Concord side of things, I guess I should say. Alright. We will be moving on to wave... What is it, 4 next, or 5? I believe wave 5,
Enemy
yes.
ships
Wave 5 we
detected.
are in right now.
We're under
And
attack.
I've just done... I don't know if I'll do any off-stream things.
We're being warp scrambled.
Jinner, are you available to pick any of this up? Or will you be available in, like, however long it takes me to clear this out? Damn, I really do love the amount of healing that the Nagalfar has. It is so good. Like, if you can make an extraordinarily tanky Nagalfar, the healing will carry you so much. I really wish I knew, like, the total volume of DPS that this is incurring right now. But it is very impressive for being a very basic fit. we have got a Republic Fleet shield extender and a Republic Fleet medium autocannon, a Republic Fleet warp disruptor, and a Republic Fleet stasis weapon flyer. So far. Okay, all of the elite ships are dead now from Wave 5. Now it's just cleanup time. There was definitely a lot of neutralizing effects and Nosferatus and stuff that happened here. Mostly neutralizers. If I did not have these capacitor batteries, I would very likely be out of capacitor. I'm currently at 53% capacitor. So between the beginning where I had like 95% capacitor until now, that's a lot of neutralizers that we've dealt with. We only had to really turn off our implant like twice, but this has gone a lot smoother than a couple of days ago when we did one. Now I have had to turn it off like 3 times because I needed to hit this Angel Tornado. Since my Sea Whiz is working on these 3 other ships left in this wave, I'm gonna kill the one that my Sea Whiz is not attacking, and move on to ones that it is at the end. it is smartest if I go for the highest health one. That way my Sea-Wiz maintains its high DPS for as long as possible before it kills something and resets. Alright, one last ship left, and that will be all the waves for this, advanced Inquisitor. We really did not have an issue, which is good. So, a little trick that you can use in Dreadnoughts is if you are heading toward something, you can use one activation of your mobility module, micro warp drive, afterburner, whatever, and then turn on your siege mode. That will maintain your speed without utilizing capacitor. That means you can go a lot faster in a Dreadnought than people would expect you to be and still maintain your capacitor. It's just a nice little trick to know. Okay. We've got a few more boxes to grab. Mm. Ah, I see 3 boxes now. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel when I see people flying things like the Aeon or the Nyx. Um, it scratches that itch to fly my super. It's so great. Honestly, like, it's good income for out here with a very basic dread, but if I could get into harder content, it would be so much better. And the ship is fairly cheap. I mean, if you're looking for a ratting ship, 16,000 IP is not that bad. It really doesn't make you feel like you're losing a whole ton. The biggest problem you have with a dread is just not having enough capacitor to deal with your targets. Yeah, as opposed to a carrier, the carriers, they can shoot your main weapon systems and just completely take you out of a fight, and then you're just hoping your friends come to save you. I need to grab these elite wrecks. I can't just leave them here. I'm hoping for a good module to drop. It'd be nice if I had one of those afterburners or micro warp drives. Make a few 100 million. It's gonna take a while to move this big old hunk of metal around. I'm gonna let it go for a second activation here. Okay, where are we at so far? 47 million collected. No afterburner, no scram yet. Not really sure what was worth so much in here. I don't know. Slingshotting my battleship at 260 meters a second. That's pretty much 1 kilometer every 4 seconds or something like that. And we got a Republic Fleet large autocannon. And we have one last wreck to grab. There is somebody in that system. I don't know what that system is. Yeah, we're not quite aligned to it. That's okay. This will be the last box we get. And we have 4 Junior Overseers personal effects and 1 Republic Fleet large shield booster. Alright. So with that being said, let's go ahead and head on back.
Autopilot engaged.
It's gonna take us a moment to align because we were previously moving. It's not like I can just pop the micro-warp drive and go. I actually have to align this time. Almost there. So our largest bounty tick for today was 41 million.
Warp drive active.
So we started at 4,345,000,000. Currently, without commendations, we are now at 4,703,000,000. That means we've made 450 million approximately without commendations.
Destination reached.
And with commendations, we are now at 4,971,000,000. We started with 4,345,000,000. So we made a little over, it's like 625 million-ish in just under 3 hours. Yep, 626 million-ish, if you include our combinations. I would say that's a pretty decent income, but it can get a lot better. I know it can. Alright. That is pretty good. Hmm. Alright, so with that being said, I think the large autocannons did quite well. The capital autocannons. So I think I will continue to use those for a bit. And I'll swap out of them when necessary for like inquisitors and stuff like that. Hope you liked what I was doing today. Hope you enjoyed seeing the changes that I've made in how I run this ship and the comparison between the barreled weapons and the autocannons. So thank you all for joining me, and I really appreciate all the support you've given me. I wouldn't be doing any of this if not for you guys, so thank you. I really appreciate it. Take care and be safe, and I will see you on the next one. Probably Dormant Realm Monday.